If you have a second, why don't you head on over and check out our graphic designer's Twitch account. She handles all of STR's figure fight title cards.
Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and welcome to another
Figure Fight.
Today we have a match you've all been asking for, and now I can finally bring it to you. This is a heavyweight brawler, and probably the most anticipated figure fight in some time. From Shanghai, China, with their first year in the license, Hiya Toys comes roaring in with their heat ray, Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. And from Tokyo, Japan, Tamashii Nation, celebrating 15 years of product this year, comes thundering in with their Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong, depicting Godzilla charging up to fire his atomic blast. While Tamashii Nations has not directly made a figure named Heat Ray or Spitfire Godzilla 2021, we all know what this one is supposed to be. With Hiya coming onto the scene as a new contender to be a fan favorite and challenge to the kaiju action figure throne, will Tamashii Nations be able to hold their own, with Bandai having decades of Godzilla experience under their belt to do the King of the Monsters justice? Is there a new titan to rule them all to be crowned, or will nature be preserved? Take your last piss break, grab a snack, sit back, relax, smooch your honey, vote in the fan poll below, and let's watch these two go toe-to-toe in the
Figure Fight. Round 1.
Sculpt and paint. In terms of accuracy, both companies have directly or indirectly touted their 2019 and 2021 Godzillas as having different sculpts from each other. But Hiya demonstrated that here, with their new GVK sculpt, it can be switched around for their KOTM sculpt, and regarding Tamashii Nations, well, let's wait for their 2019 new one that they have for their Tamashii Nation store exclusive, shall we? The biggest issue here is not regarding accuracy per se, but more so the execution of the figures. While the SH MonsterArts does tout a sculpt secured from the CGI model, modified by Yuji Sakai, after to accommodate for things like articulation and proportions, well, okay, the paint apps are a bit different here for this one. This is one of a few select MonsterVerse Godzilla figures across the entire collecting landscape to get the charge-up effect on the dorsal plates correct, of which I can commend and no one can take away. The dry brushing on it is pretty great, and the details of the sculpt really do look nice. However, this one is you, and the Hiya is the guy she told you not to worry about. Admittedly, the paint application on the Hiya in terms of the non-blue is not as dynamic, nor is it as accurate on the dorsal plates. However, regarding the charge-up effect, as you may recall in the quote-unquote drill scene, if you will, where he plunges into the hollow earth after Kong, he did light up from the gullet to the mouth. It looks pretty good. Additionally, in terms of detail clarity, the Hiya is so much more highly detailed and defined, and that's not a fault of sizing or scale. The SH MonsterArts line, more specifically with current releases, camera, has been able to crank out figures with intricate details of similar size that don't look like, now in retrospect, they had their skull crushed in with a hammer. Suffice it to say, the Hiya is getting the point.
Round 2.
Accessories. While other SH MonsterArts MonsterVerse Godzillas around this time had beams, this one with light-up dorsal plates had hands. The Hiya has a beam with interchangeable neck parts to circumvent articulation issues, which allow him to shoot it upwards, which I guess now fans are calling the call to arms pose. which is for Godzilla versus Kong here. It wasn't King of the Monsters. Anyway, this small issue was covered in more depth in my review, but if you're gonna have a Godzilla, which one would you rather have? Hands or a beam? Truly, like the SH Monster Arts Birth version, both, but nevertheless, the Hiya is gonna get the point, despite the fact that he doesn't have the hands to scratch and claw his way to get it.
Round 3.
Price. The Hiya is approximately $50, while the SH Monster Arts is going to be $67 at US retail price for MSRP. Keep in mind I'm going with USD here since it's going to be most easy to conceptualize, though I normally like to go with yen for import figures. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 jabs in the face. Hiya's coming in strong and getting the point.
Round 4.
Articulation. Alright, Tamashii Nations can fight back here, and that's going to be quite literally. There are more points of articulation, and the SH Monster Arts overall has a better range of movement across all joints, across the board. The Hiya does retain, or tries to, more sculpt fluidity, but unfortunately, when you do work those joints, you are going to have issues, particularly gaps. But nevertheless, the SH Monster Arts does maintain this balance. With a swift counter throw, Tamashi's Golden Boy is finally on the board, but this will not last long.
Round 5.
Scale. But with this, we come to a close, and you're going to see my scale video for actual scale versus relative scale. The SH Monster Arts is a 6-inch scale figure, while the Hiya is going to be a 7, though they're both aiming for the same spot on your shelf. They both want to be the dominant MonsterVerse Godzilla there. Do you think a larger, more actual scale accurate Godzilla should get the point, towering over some of the others, or should a 6-inch relative scale Godzilla that is going to be the same size of some of your others get it, including a more diverse and robust at the time of publication line? At this point, neither Godzilla moves a foot in the ring, so this one's going to have to be a tie, though potentially this concept could be revisited. But it's gonna go in favor of possibly not Bandai.
Final bell.
And with this, the score is 3-1. The SH Monster Arts moves better, but in nearly every other category, the new company on the block is still able to come in swinging within its first year of releasing MonsterVerse product and is able to overpower Bandai. While Tamashii struggled to score within its first decade in comparison to the new dog on the block. This is a sign Tamashii Nations needs to do better. And with the new 2019 Night Colors Godzilla being available in the Tamashii Nation store in New York, Tokyo, and Shanghai today, the day of publication, if this is the legacy that continues, I'm worried. Regardless, the long-standing company, even if different divisions with a history of Godzilla product, could not hold a candle to the underdog company from China who just entered the kaiju market last year. Yeah, they couldn't do it. Bandai, you need to do better. And that ends our main event. What did you think of the fight? Did you notice any blows below the belt, missed any shots, or ring outs the ref missed? Let everyone know in the comments below. As always, thank you for watching. The end cards popping up now, and you can support the channel by checking the links in the description. Thanks again, and I'll catch ya in the next video.